This video tutorial will take a look at solving literal equations for one variable that begins on both sides of the equation. We are going to solve this literal equation for y. Notice there is a y on each side of the equation. We are going to need to get the y's to the same side and then ultimately solve for y on one side of the equation. If we want y on one side of the equation, we are going to need to get rid of negative 3y on the right side of the equation. To do this, we can add 3y. What we do to one side of an equation, we have to do to the other side. Let's simplify the left side of the equation first. We know that we will combine the two terms that have y's in them. Negative 3x and positive 6 we can just bring down. So it will be negative 3x, negative y plus 3y will be a positive 2y, and we will bring down the plus 6. So simplifying the left side of the equation, we get negative 3x plus 2y plus 6. Now let's simplify the right side of the equation. We know that the negative 3y and positive 3y will cancel each other out, leaving us with 5x plus 22 on the right side of the equation. Notice now that we only have one y. Now our goal is to solve for y. To do that, we have to start by getting rid of two terms, negative 3x and positive 6. Let's start by getting rid of negative 3x. To do this, we can add 3x. What we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other side. Let's simplify the left side first. Negative 3x and positive 3x will cancel each other out, leaving us with 2y plus 6. Now to simplify the right side of the equation, 5x plus 3x will be 8x, so we will be left with 8x plus 22. We still have yet to solve for y. Let's get rid of the positive 6 by subtracting 6. What we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other side. Let's simplify the left side first. We know that positive 6 and negative 6 will cancel each other out, leaving us with just 2y. Let's simplify the right side of the equation now. 22 minus 6 will be 16, so we are left with 8x plus 16. We still have yet to solve for y because y is being multiplied by 2. To undo this, we can divide by 2. What we do to one side of an equation, we have to do to the other side. Let's simplify the left side of the equation first. We know that 2 divided by 2 is 1, leaving us with 1y, which we know is just y. Simplifying the right side of the equation, we know that we are going to have to divide each term by 2. 8x divided by 2 is 4x, and positive 16 divided by 2 is positive 8. So we have successfully solved our equation for y. Y equals 4x plus 8. Let's take a look at another more complex example. Let's solve this example for y. Notice, once again, we have a y on each side of the equation. Remember, one of the rules to solving equations is to simplify each side as much as we can before we start moving things from one side to the other. 3 times x plus 7 can be simplified using the distributive property. Using the distributive property, we will do 3 times x, which is 3x, and 3 times a positive 7, which is a positive 21. So, simplifying 3 times x plus 7 will get us 3x plus 21. Now we will bring the remainder of the equation down and continue working to solve for y. One hurdle in this equation is that the entire left side of the equation is being divided by 2. To cancel out this dividing by 2, we can multiply by 2. What we do to one side of an equation, we have to do to the other side. Notice I've written it a little bit differently on each side of the equation, but both sides are still being multiplied by 2. Let's simplify the left side of the equation first. The dividing by 2 and multiplying by 2 will cancel each other out, leaving us with 3x plus 21 minus 4y on the left side of the equation. Now let's simplify the right side of the equation. Remember, when we multiply or divide a side of an equation by a number, we need to do it to each term on that side. So we need to do 2 times 9x, which is 18x, and 2 times a positive 8y, which is 16y. We still have a y on each side of the equation. We know to solve for y, we need to get all of our y's to one side of the equation. Y is closer to being alone on the right side of the equation because there is less going on that side. So we are going to attempt to move all our y's to the right side of the equation. So we need to get rid of negative 4y on the left side of the equation. To get rid of negative 4y, we can add 4y. What we do to one side of an equation, we have to do to the other side. Let's simplify the left side of the equation first. Negative 4y and positive 4y will cancel one another out, leaving 3x plus 21. Let's simplify the right side of the equation now. Adding 16y and 4y will get us 20y, so we are left with 18x plus 20y. Now we only have one y. We need to continue to work to get it alone on one side of the equation now. First, we will have to get rid of 18x. To get rid of 18x, we can subtract by 18x. What we do to one side of an equation, we have to do to the other side. Let's simplify the left side of the equation. 3x minus 18x will be a negative 15x, so we are left with negative 15x plus 21. On the right side of the equation, the 18x and the negative 18x will cancel each other out, leaving us with 20y. We have yet to solve for y because y is being multiplied by 20. To undo this, we can divide by 20. What we do to one side of an equation, we have to do to the other side. Let's simplify the left side of the equation. Remember, when we multiply or divide a number on a side of an equation, we have to do it to each term. We will start with negative 15x divided by 20. Negative 15 divided by 20 can be left as a fraction because a fraction is a division problem. So we are left with negative 15 20ths x. This is negative because we originally had a negative divided by a positive, which is a negative. We do have to simplify fractions though, so negative 15 20ths simplifies to negative 3/4. Next we have to do a positive 21 divided by 20. As a fraction, this is a positive 21 over 20. This can simplify to the mixed number of 1 and 1/20th. Let's simplify the right side of the equation now. 20 divided by 20 is 1, leaving us with 1 times y, which we know is just y. So, we have successfully solved our equation for y. Y equals negative 3/4 x plus 1 and 1/20th.